So you have like Bayleaf like also go on top of the truck and like
Strapping it
hold
down.
the mattress down. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Stuff
pull in
like
the
that.
vines. You pull in the vines, and you're like,
Yeah,
that's not
make sure
going
it's
anywhere.
real sturdy. Yeah, exactly.
We're flying through Johto without a care in the world, but we're still gonna take our sweet, sweet time with it because that's what Pokemon does too. Welcome back to the podcast. It's to Kill A Delibird, the Pokemon Anime Rewatch podcast, where we take a look at some episodes, we tear them apart detail by detail, and make a lot of stupid jokes because that's, I don't know, in our personalities. I'm Kellan. I'm the guy that plays way too much Pokemon. Not lately though, actually. I've been playing a lot of Zelda, but that's besides the point. Graham's the guy who doesn't know Pokemon like at all. Any bit of knowledge about Pokemon. Graham, how you doing?
Stupid jokes have become my personality, unfortunately. It's all that's left, Kellan.
It's all about Noctowl dicks and circumcision.
Oh, we're going to learn about Noctowl's dick today. Let me tell you. For first-time listeners, welcome back. This is the Noctowl Penis Podcast, where we wonder about how hung Noctowl is from a scale of super hung to, oh, watch out, Tokyo. This thing's causing some skyscraper damage. You know what I'm saying?
And somehow we get 90 minutes out of that every single week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how.
So what's new, Kellan?
Ooh, you know what's new? It's just so many things that I can't think of what to start with. You know, so many things happen every week in my life.
If you got nothing, I got random shit.
I mean, to continue my
Okay.
100% quests of Zelda games, I finished Ocarina of Time Master Quest, so that's something.
Right. Oh, the 3DS version.
Yeah. It was
Master
good.
Quest is, to me,
Weird.
it's so fascinating that Master Quest exists. Like, I don't know of any other examples where they, like, ported, but then they remixed a game, like, so much. Like,
It's
right? Like, have you
weird.
ever played anything like that?
No, it feels kind of like indie developer in that like
Yeah.
the dungeons are remixed where it kind of seems like they went into it with the philosophy of like fuck it, you know?
Oh, yeah. Like, it's a small project in a way, but also not, because it's Ocarina of Time. And, like, I don't know what went into having to do that. Like, that doesn't happen anymore, right? Like, they spit out ports all the time, but they're never like, oh, and let's also, like, remix it. Like, that's so interesting.
Some guy in the boardroom was like, what if Jabu Jabu's belly just has cows all over it? And they're like, put it in. And another guy was like, what if we put the crystal switches, like, barely in the wall so you can only see, like, the very tip of it? And they were like, fuck it, put it in.
Fucking do it. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Master Quest was a version of Ocarina of Time that was first released on the GameCube, but it wasn't released for sale. It was on this like disc that you got as like a pre-order bonus for pre-ordering Wind Waker, I think, something like that. They might have also been giving some away through Nintendo Power. I don't remember all of the avenues, but it was not a purchasable thing. So it wasn't a retail item, which is also really interesting. It's so strange, but kind of cool.
Yeah, and the whole world is mirrored and the dungeons are remixed. And just even the world being mirrored is really messes with your brain when you've played Ocarina like 3 or 4 times.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I did that. Now I'm working on Majora's Mask 3D. So
that one I remember liking quite a bit.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Mostly just because like Majora's Mask
Ocarina
is a very
ain't
good
shit.
game.
Ain't shit compared to Majora's Mask.
That's such an interesting opinion, really.
It's so good. Majora's Mask is so much better.
I mean, I like them both a lot. I do like them both a lot. And I almost want to agree in the sense that I think that Majora's Mask is more interesting. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Like they do so much more interesting stuff in the sense that like everything in that game is unique. Like it wasn't done up until then, when wasn't done after. But that being said, it's less accessible than Ocarina.
Oh, it's much more confusing.
Yeah. So although I find Majora's Mask more interesting, like sometimes when I'm looking for my comfort game Zelda, like I will probably replay Ocarina of Time over it. It's not my comfort game Zelda. It's my more like existential crisis Zelda.
Yeah.
I need to scream at a moon with a face and have it scream back because that's the mood I'm in.
Majora's Mask is just so much more packed with content, though, too. Like
Oh,
one of the main things to look at the contrast is like look at Termina Field contrasted with Hyrule Field.
Oh, it's much denser, right? Is that what
Termina
you're getting
Field
at?
is so condensed and packed full of stuff to do and places to see, and it just looks much more visually interesting. Hyrule Field is boring as shit. It is a big field. All of the interesting things are around the perimeter, and then in the center is lawn ranch, and then it's just grass, and there's nothing. It's boring. Hyrule Field is boring. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, I do think Majora's Mask is the more interesting game. Like I said, there's
Mm-hmm.
there's just more kind of weird stuff to encounter. But I don't know. This is weird because it's like, is Hyrule Field boring? Yeah,
Yes.
kinda. Yeah, but also like, like at like the
It
Hyrule
takes so
Field
long
isn't
to get
really
anywhere.
the big draw of that game. But at the time, and if we look at the games at the time, Hyrule Field's big appeal was just that it exists,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was like you didn't get this sort of big open adventure space yet. Like this is pre GTA 3. This is pre like any of the big 3D open world games. The levels in Mario 64 aren't that expansive.
Mm-hmm.
Banjo Tooie isn't for a couple more years still, and that's the one with the really big fucking stages, which are also too big and become boring. But yeah.
Mm. Yeah. I just really like Majora's Mask. I just think it's good. It's fun. Very good game. And
Well,
that's about
Kellan,
it.
last night I watched a movie about Winston Churchill. How's that
Mm.
for a natural
Sounds
segue?
sounds fascinating.
Yeah, is this movie from like 2017, 2018, I think, something like that, called Darkest Hour, where Gary Oldman played Winston Churchill. They have him like
Yeah.
prosthetics and stuff. Apparently won an Academy Award for it. First time I saw it was last night. It was a pretty sick movie. It's like a World War II movie with like zero violence in it. And it's just about like 30 days in the UK Parliament. but like, which doesn't sound super
It
riveting.
sounds
But
thrilling.
but it was really, because the acting was just so good. Like the acting was incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So the drama really hits, you know.
I love the idea of government films. Parliament
I'm
for a month
weirdly into
sounds
it
sick.
now. Yeah.
Well, I mean, real life politics has just gotten so fictitious that the movies also just feel so much more real.
They kind of do. They kind of do.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff going on
I would shout out
in
that
everyone's
movie
life.
though, for
Yeah.
those of you who haven't seen it.
I have not. So.
Winston Churchill drank a lot.
Mhm.
This is a Pokemon podcast. I want to talk about Winston Churchill. He was like a rude dude, and
A
I
rootin' tootin' rude dude.
honestly think he most made sense as a wartime prime minister. Like he might not have been regarded as a good leader in any other setting, right?
Mhm.
He wasn't a particularly civil man. Like he didn't agree with a lot of people. He wasn't that agreeable. He didn't like work together very well. But what he did is he made really hard decisions and he went all in on them. And that was
Yeah.
kind of what was needed at the time, because it contrasted a lot with like the previous leaders, Neville Chamberlain, who's like criticized a lot for his policies of appeasement, which was basically like, oh, let Hitler have the Sudetenland, this part of Czechoslovakia, and then he'll stop. Oh, let him take.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
sure. Yeah.
okay, he's
Okay.
got Poland now. Well, maybe that's all he needs. Maybe he'll stop. Oh my God, he's got France. Well, maybe we can sign a peace deal and give him our naval bases. Then he'll stop. Like that was like what he was.
Sure.
That's what he
He'll
was
stop.
thinking.
Yeah.
And that is sort of this like, I just want peace, and I'm gonna do. I think I'm doing what's best for my country, but I'm maybe making some naive choices. And Winston
Mhm.
Churchill would be like, well, I'm going to sacrifice 4,000 people, men, because I know they don't have a chance, but I know Hitler's not going to stop. So I'm going to do that to gain time over here so we can have a proper return. And
Mhm.
that's not a feel good decision, right? Like that's a
No.
horrible thing for someone to have to make and to do. But I mean, war sucks. War sucks
Hot
balls.
take.
Yeah.
Hot take.
I'm not
here on
into that
TCAN.
war thing.
Yeah, war's pretty bad. So, a film about old people. You know what else is old? The Noctowl. In today's first episode, throwing in the Noctowl. How about that for a segue. That's the first
Yeah,
thing
tell
we're
me
doing
about
today.
the episodes. So we got 2 episodes. First is 225 thrown in the Noctowl. Banger episode, I think.
Pretty
But
good.
we'll
Pretty
get
good.
there. Also another banger episode. 226 Nerves of Steelix. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Master Quest has been hitting pretty well.
It's been hitting. This is actually a gym battle week. Master Quest is kind of like, yo, I know that we've done a lot of filler, and we're still doing filler, but we're going to
Don't
try to make
worry.
that filler really good.
Don't worry, there's more filler to come.
Oh, there's
So
more to come.
there's
So,
always filler to come.
in that second episode, the Pokemon of the hour, of the 22 minutes, is Steelix, right? And he's just an Onyx covered in steel. Let's be real, okay?
Yeah.
He's just got steel grafted to him. So, Kellan, this is the top 10 things to cover in steel, okay?
Okay.
We're covering stuff in steel this week on TCAT. Number 10, video game cases. I like steel cases.
Steelbooks are pretty neat.
Steel books are neat. They're so solid. The only problem is that, like, what do you do with your shelf arrangement, Kellan? Do you still have them in order, or do you have a special spot with just steel books?
Well,
Because
that's a
they
great
look kind
question.
of weird, littered
Yeah.
with the other case.
Considering I don't have any steel books, so I have not had to worry about that. But I guess, time will come someday when I have to, and then, you know what? I'll update you all. I'll let you know.
I have 2, I think. I'm looking. I've got Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Steelbook, and I've got Wolfenstein 2 Steelbook. I think I only get Steelbooks of 2s.
Yeah, apparently. Only sequels.
I gotta keep that up, yeah.
Number 9.
Fists. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Then you can just punch more.
I think that's illegal in MMA.
I think it's illegal in a lot of settings, but
Probably.
not a video game, or not. If you got to punch a brick, right, to get a coin, it could be useful.
Yeah. Number 8.
The front of cars, especially if it's a post-apocalyptic world. I just want a big hunk of steel in front of my car for when I ram shit and loot things.
If it's zombie apocalypse, I want giant spears to skewer the
to
zombies.
Just skewer those zombies.
Yeah,
and they're still like
fun.
quote unquote alive, like they're still moving
Yeah,
around after
yeah.
they're skewered. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Number 7, Mario, Metal Mario. That's a thing.
Easy. Yeah. Number 6.
Sonic,
Metal Sonic. Fuck yeah. Number 5.
I love Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic's badass.
Yeah, because he's like Sonic, but he's devoid of all feeling. He doesn't like chili dogs. Oh my god.
Did you know that playing as Metal Sonic is the reward for 100%ing Sonic Adventure DX?
No.
It is. It is.
Wow. You got that?
No, not yet.
Oh, you're
But
not
that's
done.
what we're working
Okay.
towards.
Wow, yeah, I had no idea. Is it just
Over on
Sonic,
twitch.tv
but, like,
/Hydroleech.
it looks metal?
Yeah,
Does
he's
he
just
just
metal.
play
Like,
like Sonic?
it's just Sonic, but it's basically the skin, yeah.
It's a skin. Still, that's neat. I did not know that.
Yeah, neat.
Number 5, Pikachu needs a mech. Now, I'm not saying cover Pikachu in steel exactly, like Sonic or Mario. Metal Pikachu, that feels so derivative. But, like, I think he needs a little robot that he gets into sometimes.
Tiny little mecha Pikachu, yes, please.
Tiny little Mecha Pikachu goes hard. Yeah, and
He's so cute.
he powers it with his, like, electric attacks, right? So, like, thunderbolts, and then it does, like, an extra punch kind of thing.
To take it back to Sonic, is the mechs from Sonic Adventure 2. Give Pikachu one of those. Where he moves around in it.
Where he
It'd be
moves
fun.
around, blasts
Be cute.
things. Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, we want it to actually play as Tails. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we? I guess. Number 4. Well, Kellan, I promised you we would talk about this. Noctowl's penis for medieval sieges. Okay,
Yeah,
cover that
yeah.
thing in metal. Boom, you're ramming down every castle gate in the county.
I think that's called a chastity cage.
It's called a chastity ram in this case. You can't get in there, but it's doing a lot of damage regardless.
Bang, bang, bang in more ways than one. Number 2?
Number 3.
3.
An anaconda. Now, I'm not saying I don't want none. I'm saying,
Unless
would
you got
that
buns
be
on?
like a Steelix? An anaconda covered in steel would kind of look like a Steelix. How do we know that it's an onyx inside that steel? Just based on pure belief?
It's not an onyx inside steel. It's a new Pokemon.
What's inside, I wonder? Peanut
Heart.
butter?
and soul,
I'm going with peanut butter.
beliefs,
All of that stuff
courage,
is a lot like peanut butter.
wisdom,
Life is
power.
like a jar of peanut butter.
You never know what you're going to get. Number 2.
Number 2. Well, let's shove Brock's libido in a steel cage. Cool it down.
Talk
you know
about
what I'm
chastity
saying?
belt. Yeah.
Yeah, let's lock that thing right up. Or sex positivity, allow him to explore his body in a healthy way. Like a young man. Don't be ashamed of that, Brock, but just don't do it in
But
public.
do it in the bathroom, yeah.
Do it in the
Number
bathroom.
1.
A giant dome over Earth. The way things are going, I feel like it might come in handy. Like, I don't know.
It doesn't even need to be the entire Earth.
Yeah, entire Earth.
Just a couple countries.
Okay,
maybe.
just us and like I don't
That'd
know.
be fine.
UK can join and like New Zealand
to protect. I
Japan.
thought we were
Yeah.
to keep people in, but yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
that's steel.
okay. That's steel. You know what else is steel? Not yet, because we're gonna talk first episode words. I'm losing it today, apparently.
And yet you're a professional talker.
Oh God, I hate that. That's not good. Well, let's start with episode 225, throwing in the Noctowl. Maybe I'll find some words along the way. We're back in Transit Town. Ash, Colin, Janina, remember her, the little girl from way back when, before the Whirl Islands. Turns out Sparkle the Ampharos is all better, and Jasmine is ready for a battle. In fact, it'd be great because she can go get the gym ready, get her up and going, back to the gym, get that thing ready. So we're gonna hop on a boat ASAP, get back to Olivine.
And this was, for those who don't remember, this was the whole reason we had these Whirl Island episodes, was they were like, well, this is the reason, the in-universe reason, is the Ampharos was sick, so Jasmine, the gym leader, was worried, not up for fighting, even though Ampharos isn't a Pokemon she uses in the gym battle.
Yeah, but she
which is
cares for
interesting.
Ampharos.
But she's
and
busy.
then-
Yeah, exactly. She's emotionally busy.
Yeah. It's like a pet.
Exactly. And it is important to the community, a real social individual for the whole area, right? It has a purpose. So anyways, she was busy with that, and that's why they went off on this Whirl Island adventure, basically to kill time while it's recovered.
Well,
And
there was
now-
another. Yeah, they left to Cianwood for a gym, and then they learned about the Whirl Islands, and we're like,
Oh,
you know
right,
what?
Yeah.
Screw it. Well, we'll hang out there for a while until Ampharos is better.
So it's better, and they can go back. So
Yeah.
So Transit Town is the northmost point, basically, where they can get back to Olivine City. And now there's a ferry that's supposed to be here when they run up. And the kids are like, what the fuck? Did we miss this thing? Was it early? Was it late? What the hell's going on? And there's an old man fishing there, right? He's like, it left here 1 hour ago.
There's another one, but it doesn't leave until tomorrow. It goes every day. And the gang's like, well, fuck. What are we gonna do now?
Yeah, they blow their gaskets.
Yeah. Ash has a battle planned for tomorrow morning, so he's got to get there. The old man says, there's a courier service over that way. It'll fly you to Olivine, 2 flights a day, called the Hoot Hoot Express. And then we look in on the guy, and he's like, I can get more people. It's great to sit here fishing, so I can tell people to go to my business. Like, it's evil, but it's like, no, not really. I mean, you're just doing what you got to do, man.
Yeah, in the end, it wasn't evil, but yeah, this zoom in into
was
his
life-threatening.
eyes and stuff felt nefarious. I was like, uh-oh, bad guy detected. I was like, is this Team Rocket somehow combined
course
and
it is.
dressed as an old man? But no,
I
they
wouldn't
don't
be
have
surprised.
disguises that good.
Well, they're going to go off to the Hoot Hoot Express. Oh, where's the fisherman guy go? We see him running away because he's going to the Hoot Hoot Express because it's his. Well, we arrive at the Hoot Hoot Express.
Is basically like, it looks like a rundown warehouse.
Yeah.
Got this old shifty sign, and the gang enters. The place looks kind of creepy, and here he is, an old man in a pilot outfit. And
I think his
Kellan-
mustache got bigger.
Oh, it did. Like he's living large now when he's in this. Like, it's a confidence thing. Like, he loves this outfit. You know what I mean? So he's just like, "Hello, gang. It is I." Now, the funny thing to me, Kellan, was they immediately recognize him as the old man on the dock.
Yeah.
Did that surprise you? Because that was
No,
actually a
because,
decent disguise.
Yeah, but you never. It's a coin toss if they're gonna recognize someone or not. So I'm really never surprised either way.
Right. So you're saying, since the evidence has been so all over the place about their disguise detecting abilities, it actually does not matter on the quality of the disguise, and it's purely
Correct.
like RNG.
Yeah, unless it's Team
Gotcha.
Rocket, in which case it's like 80-20.
Oh, it's a loaded
Everyone
dice,
else
right?
is 50-50. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we had
I'm
to
with that
remove Team
theory.
Rocket from the averages because they were throwing it off. They were
really
outliers
skewing
in the
it.
data.
You gotta
Yeah.
kick him out of that casino.
Well, he's gonna be the pilot. This is Wings Alexander. Pretty good name. I can't
Oh
lie.
man, you gotta name your kid Wings. Right?
Wings.
That's really setting them up.
Yeah, that won't get them beat up. But first, some business. He needs some help with his Pokemon. You see a lot of Pokemon. He's Sandshrew, Doduo, Weepinbell, Tangela, Parasect. There's Ponyta later, Bellsprout, Rattata. A lot of Pokemon. It's great. He's dedicated his life to them. He's like, my stories would make your hair turn white. And flashback. Hoot Hoot is just killing a bunch of stuff. Trainers feared him and his Hoot Hoot, apparently.
Yeah, and there's clips of this Hoot Hoot, like back when the old man was a young man. Young Wings.
Young man.
Prime Wings.
Get your head out of the ground, I said.
Oh, and he
young
did
man.
get his head out of the ground, because it shows the Hoot Hoot, beating up a bunch of things. Shows him winning against a Machoke and a Scyther. Kellan, those are good matchups for Hoot
Decent
Hoot, right? 'Cause
matchups,
it's,
yeah. Flying to fight.
strong against fighting and bug.
And
right?
bug,
Oh my god.
yep.
Oh my god. Folks, did you know that?
You did
strong
it.
against fighting and bug. How do I remember that it's strong against fighting? I don't know. I'm just like, I guess it's hard to punch a bird.
Exactly. You ever try to karate chop a goose? You're not doing that.
I've tried being near a goose, and it can be scary.
Exactly.
For those of you who've never encountered a wild goose, that might sound
Canadian
weird,
goose.
but they're actually really aggressive animals.
They're fucked.
They're scary, and they have like these like razor teeth under their bill that are weird.
There's a reason people call them cobra chickens.
Cobra. I've never heard that.
How have you never heard that? It's
I
amazing.
don't know, but that's absolutely right. They have like snake heads.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Canadian goose. If you've never seen one, it's good for you, man.
Yeah, they're frightening.
They can be quite terrifying. But the babies, adorable. Fucking love
super
them.
cute. Yeah.
God, I love them.
That's just the problem is in like a park, someone will run up to the babies and be like, oh, so cute. And then like the parent goose like reveals itself and shrieks at you.
Yeah.
Ah, get away.
It's funny how aggressive Canadian geese are, considering our grandparents had a pet one for a while, and it was pretty domesticated.
Yeah, a baby, like a small, a geeseling,
A
whatever you
gosling.
call them, a gosling, a Ryan gosling.
Got left behind.
Imprinted itself on her grandma.
Yeah. They got
and
left behind it. And
So
so
she
yeah.
could like summon it. She could like walk into the farmyard and go yell its name. What do you guys name it? Eugene? I don't know.
We called him Eugene. I think she called him something different.
Yeah, I think she had a different name.
But we called him Eugene, the goose.
It would come
And it was like
flying.
It was a polite goose. Like
Oh,
it was
yeah.
it was a domesticated pet goose.
It didn't fit into this narrative we're pushing
No.
of the angry geese.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
But you know, when it came time, like in the movies, it was time for Eugene to go out on his own, be a goose, how he's meant to be. So they set him free. I wonder
Kevin,
how he's doing.
That whole like
Probably
time
dead.
of our lives is something I like will wake up sometimes, like in the morning or middle of the night, and be like, isn't that weird that grandma had a goose? Was that real?
It's one of my favorite anecdotes.
Yeah.
Grandma had a pet goose.
Yeah.
It was wild. Anyway, there's no geese in this episode.
No.
Where were we?
Well, so the gang are
Who's
doing
beating
chores.
shit up? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're and snapping out of the flashback. Gang's doing chores. Brock's into it. He's like, I love nothing more than shoveling smelly ponyta crap.
Nothing like a smelly stable that gets Brock in the mood for some of Ash's matches. He says. So yeah, they weren't really paying attention to the stories. They just want to like get out of here, get to Olivine as fast as possible. And Wings is like, all right, cool, your flight will be free. So I think this whole section was just to be like, oh wow, they didn't pay the guy for his flight, and this is the explanation. You know, we really needed those details. Otherwise, you know, what was the point of this? Here comes the plane. You know, they don't make them like this anymore. Classic line.
I love
And-
this thing. It's like a World War II bomber.
Yeah,
is what it looks
it's a
like.
big
It's
one.
a prop plane. It looks like that American style kind of that they would, you know, it would have some like cool pinup art on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And bomber's the wrong word because it's more like it's more like where the paratroopers would jump.
Yeah.
Out of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't know the model of that plane, but anyways,
Me
cool
neither.
shit.
You only know tanks apparently, and it's just not planes.
Yeah, it's gotta have treads.
Yeah. Don't we all? We see the Hoot Hoot from a long ago, but he's not a Hoot Hoot anymore. It's a Noctowl, and he's old and has a beard and likes to sleep a lot.
Yeah. Old Noctowl. What
Grandpa
a vibe.
Noctowl.
Yeah.
So it's time for takeoff.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Oh, we're out of fuel. And I like this because it plays the sound effect of the gang falling over, but we don't see them falling over. They just pop back up.
They fall over in spirit.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't have fuel. Okay. And now
but now we do because we're going in the air.
Yeah, now they're flying. And the music here was cool. I didn't recognize this track. Kind of gave me a spirit of flying, of exploration. I think it might have been new. I'm not 100% sure, but I liked that kicking
There's a lot of good music in this episode.
Wings is like, we got a drop in pressure. There's a storm ahead. We're caught in a storm. Of course you're caught in a storm. Like, what else would happen in an episode with an airplane? Like,
it's just a regular flight, point
no
A to point
storm.
B. No story, no drama or anything.
Pokemon writers, when they don't put a storm in the episode, and you just see them like itching themselves. They're like, oh god, I gotta have a storm.
It's the meme of the guy sitting next to the girl, and he's like straining so hard to keep a fart in that his head is veiny.
Exactly.
Or whatever. That one.
Or the Dave Chappelle one. Y'all got any more of those?
Y'all got any more of them storms? But yeah, so we're flying in some wind, some turbulence. We're going for a nosedive. We see beyond the clouds is Team Rocket. They're caught in this storm as well, flying around. Prepare for trouble. And oh no, not this time. They can't get through the motto at all. That's it. They just don't really do the motto.
Meowth goes, I'm never trusting internet weather forecasts again.
They see the plane and they start calling for help. And somehow inside the plane, Brock's like, is someone calling for help?
Yeah,
how can you hear that?
I don't know.
Through a plane and a storm.
That's pretty unrealistic, yeah.
What the fuck? They see the balloon. Team Rocket! They start waving the white flag. They surrender. Misty just thinks they're lying. They're like, no. We're a kinder, gentler Team Rocket. Again, they're just having a casual conversation. However far apart they are from a plane to a balloon, I don't understand how anyone's hearing each other.
We're innocent through a raging storm. They're inside a plane. Oh my god.
Wobbuffet pops out and just like screams, and I think this is the point where the gang is like, okay, Wobbuffet's freaking out. We gotta save them. We gotta figure this out then.
Wobbuffet's the reasonable one.
It really is. We get some more great music here. I think it was from movie 1 when they were like braving the waves and whatnot. But Wings is like, it's the law of the air, the law of the skies. We gotta help them. It's our duty.
Skies. Yeah.
Noctowl is still asleep.
Team Rocket used the phrase, we're a kinder, gentler Team Rocket, which I don't know if that was a reference to something, but to me it made me think of the line kinder, gentler machine gun hand, which is a Neil Young line from Rocket in the Free World, but it was a criticism of something that JFK said, I think. So I was wondering if that was a reference, but I don't see any trivia alluding to it here.
I certainly know exactly what you're talking about, and I will say, yes, sure.
Kinder, gentler machine gun hand?
Yeah. Sounds like a guy from a shooter. Machine gun hand. But really poorly named. No creativity.
Well, I mean, that's basically Barrett from Final Fantasy VII. His hand is a machine gun.
Fancy. Well, fine. We're gonna help. We see Jigglypuff kind of just flying around, floating in the air.
Team Rocket. I looked it up. Sorry, I'm doing that thing you do when you're talking about Full House, where I say something that's almost right but not. It is from a Neil Young line, but it wasn't criticizing JFK. It was a Bush Senior campaign slogan he was riffing on, where Bush said, "I want a kinder, gentler nation." And
so he changed it to machine gun
hand.
Okay. Yeah. Were there like a lot of wars going on?
Yeah. I mean, the Gulf War. The Gulf War was during
the classic
Bush Senior's administration.
I know wars, yeah. Jigglypuff's floating around. That's cute. Team Rocket is aboard now. They save Team Rocket. And they're just like, we don't know why we're so despicable. Mountains of therapists have tried and failed.
That's very funny.
Misty still doesn't believe him. She's going to keep an eye on him. Stay away from Pikachu. Togepi's like poking at him because Togepi's just being Togepi.
She's always
Wobbuffet pops out. Yeah. Breaks the floor. And they fall, creating like a human chain. Togepi at the bottom. But then we're all safe.
Don't
It's
let
fine.
anything happen to my little egg. Like me,
Doesn't really,
outscott him, and he's not gonna let Togepi drop. So
of course. So they're all safe.
they're pulled
No
up.
no
They
real
bored
drama
up
there.
the
Yeah.
hole in the floor. Okay, nice. I'm a little surprised. Like Misty's suspicion is right. So I am a little bit
Yeah.
surprised that they didn't like tie up Team Rocket in the corner or something. It's like we'll help you, but like we don't need to give you free reign here.
Well, there seems to be another problem. The propeller is about to fall off of the plane, which, needless to say, not good.
Meowth's got a great line. You've got the nerve to call this a rescue plane? And then, but what's funny is he's criticizing it because he's like you're supposed to rescue us, like, and now you need rescuing. But all this does is trigger another flashback in Wings. Like he just loves having flashbacks. He's like,
Yeah.
rescuing that takes me back.
Feels like yesterday when this plane was well built. Crazy. He finally clicks with him. He's like, okay, maybe it's time we retire soon. So
Yeah.
we'll see. No time for memories. And Ash just like flips his hat around like he's about to go into a battle. And he's like, I'll take care of this. And I thought that was a great point where I think it went into commercial, like the halfway point. Because it's like, what the fuck is Ash going to do?
Oh, and he does, Kellan, because
He
cutting
does.
back in, he jumps out of the plane and climbs on top of it. And I was like, what a 10-year-old.
Oh my God. He doesn't fly off or anything. He's got grip of a fucking Spartan.
Yeah, I was like,
this
does
kid.
this show understand how fast planes go?
Has this show seen that video of a pilot being like sucked out the window and the other pilot holding on to his legs to keep him inside and until they're able to like land the plane, and somehow the guy survived and it's incredible.
Holy
But
fuck.
like, I know, right? It's crazy.
I don't know if I've seen that. That sounds crazy.
But you couldn't just like stand on a fucking airplane on the
No.
outside.
I mean, I don't know. There might be some details where it's been done, but it's also extremely cold at the altitudes that they fly at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever like watched on the airplane console and it tells you what the temperature is outside, and it'll get down to like -7. Like
Jesus.
like oh yeah, like insane cold.
Wow, I did not know that. It gets that cold. I knew it get cold, but not that cold. But yeah, Ash just climbs onto the side of the plane. Crobat comes out to help. Bulbasaur comes out. He vine whips. He says, I believe Ash calls it the engine. No, it's a propeller. Ash.
I know how this how this prop plate is set up though. It does look like it's like an engine plus a propeller.
Oh,
on
maybe
each
it is, yeah.
side. I mean, I don't know enough about how planes work, but
Me neither.
that was sort of what he makes it look like.
You could tell me planes are sorcery, and I'd believe you. Like
Yeah.
they don't make any sense. Well, he holds it down with the vine whip. So does Bayleaf, the other side, because that one's also starting to fall off. And so they're holding those down. And so we have a question here from what I'm going to assume got unfortunately autocorrected from the top 10 list of Grant's unused top 10s. So I'm assuming autocorrect swapped Graham to Grant.
Ooh,
by
I got
accident.
granted. Okay.
Got granted. They ask, a lot of Pokemon did random jobs to help the plane afloat. What random ass job would you want to see a Pokemon do in your everyday life?
Oh, okay. So this is like these things where we use, and honestly, it's usually vine whips. Where they're usually like, let's use vine whips to hold these random things together. I'm assuming that's the kind of task, and not like a full-time job, not like Squirtle firefighters, right?
It
We're
could
talking more
be.
like,
Well, just random ass stuff as the question asks.
yeah, I think random ass stuff.
I think it'd be fun to see Machamp be like a checkout clerk at the grocery store. How fast could those 4 arms go?
They'd be good at it. I felt bad immediately after I thought of this, but any water Pokemon would make a good bidet. Again,
Oh, that's
don't
gross.
feel great about that one though.
They all just like put on blindfolds before it happens. Just
Yeah,
like,
they're
"No,
like,
I don't
"Dear
need to see
God."
that. I
Well,
don't need to see
maybe
that."
they're star you and they don't have eyes.
Oh, they don't have eyes. There you go.
Exactly.
They actually don't know what they're doing. They don't know what a bidet is actually
Yeah, it could be
for,
cleaning
so.
a car or a butthole.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
same to me.
Yeah, all the same. What other random ass jobs are there that a Pokemon could do?
I mean, Pikachu would make great peanut butter jelly sandwiches, not
Would.
because a Pikachu is needed, but just like that's cute. I don't
It
know.
would be.
So
Yeah.
there's vibes about PB&J with Pikachu time.
Chef Pikachu, but he only makes PB and
He only
J's.
makes PB&J or like grilled cheese, like
Yeah.
basically just like basic ass sandwiches.
And they're like fine. They're exactly what you would do at home. But it's
Yeah,
just
they're
the fact that
fine.
Pikachu's making them that makes it real special.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
It's about the experience, not about the food itself.
See, I can't think of any random jobs now. You asked me to name a job, and I'm like, I don't know. There's no jobs. No jobs exist.
The economy's done.
Oh God, Psyduck is a computer programmer.
Oh,
I don't
this
know
is
why.
back to careers. Well, I think you would do things like,
I
okay,
don't know.
let's say you were Ash. Okay, you have that squad of Pokemon. And the way he
Mm-hmm.
uses his Pokemon to do these like fiddly little tasks for him, I mean that are important, but they're just like surprising. I think you would do things like, okay, you're taking an old mattress to the dump and it's in the back of a truck and it's kind of hanging out.
Yeah.
So you have like Bayleaf like also go on top of the truck and
Strapping
like
it
hold the
down.
mattress down. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Stuff
pull on
like
the
that.
vines. You pull on the vines, and you're like,
Yeah,
that's
make
not
sure
going
it's real
anywhere.
sturdy. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I forgot about the
Uh,
everyday life part, and then now it's out. Now it's clicking in some stuff. Like,
mhm.
oh man, I forgot to take stuff out of the freezer. Magmar, can you defrost this chicken for me?
Yeah, and Magmar would get really good at it after time of being able to like thaw
Do it
out stuff
perfectly.
at that perfect temperature so that it doesn't like
Evenly.
yeah, so that it doesn't like turn it. You know how like if you try to like microwave something, sometimes it turns out a little too like it comes out kind of gross after. But if you thought at the right speed, so Magmar's got it down.
Yeah. There's a Pokemon from Gen 5, Chinchino, that is known to be very clean. I would have one of those just clean my apartment every day.
Oh
That'd be
yeah,
great.
nice, like a
Yeah.
fun little Roomba buddy.
Exactly.
Well, there you go, Kellan. We got
There
some.
you go. We got something out of that. Whether it was good, I don't know, but we'll see.
But
So
back
we're
to the
nose diving
episode.
straight into the sea.
Yep, and Misty is like,
This is
okay,
absurd.
Staryu and but this is absurd. Staryu and Poliwhirl, they're the Pokemon we need to help with the nosedive situation. And I wonder what Wing's plan here was. Like, or he's just like, I was gonna die
Reminisce.
someday soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's got her water Pokemon sit up like at front of the plane and just blast water guns forward. And that force pulls the plane back up, which I don't totally understand.
Well, yeah, you don't understand it because it makes no goddamn sense. What does
Okay.
the PSI on those water guns have to be in order to do that?
If I was better at physics, I might be able to calculate that. I still don't even know if it's possible. Like how much force you could put there. I don't know. That's
How much
confusing.
water are they expelling from their bodies?
Oh yeah, that's
Great
the
question
issue,
for
the water.
a scientist.
Yeah. Well,
Noctowl is still sleeping, and some really nice music plays as the plane stabilizes. And that's when Meowth sees something on the wing. Oh god, it's Jigglypuff.
not now. Everyone's screaming. Don't you fucking dare sing.
Don't
Well, guess
do
what?
it.
It starts singing.
Ah,
Bulbasaur
son
and
of a
Bailey
bitch.
fall asleep right away, which causes the Vine Whips to relax. That is concerning. Ash and Crobat are asleep. Everybody else falling asleep. And just then, Jigglypuff is hit by lightning.
Straight up
Deus
struck
Ex
by lightning.
Lightning, straight up struck by lightning and just floats away. And she was caught mid-song, so everyone starts waking up relatively fast.
Yeah, and lightning storm still. Epic music playing during this part. I liked it. Noctowl was still out. I thought this would be the point where Noctowl finally wakes up because he wasn't put to sleep by Sing, and so he's just naturally waking up. That's what I thought.
Oh, okay.
But everyone wakes up. Wings reminiscing about when Hoot Hoot was a badass and evolved. That was cool.
Can't stop
and-
reminiscing, but it was nice because this is
Yeah.
I'm starting to connect more with the Wings character at this point, right? Because we're seeing all of his little backstories. We're seeing how he's like reflecting on kind of him and Noctowl's life and career up till now, and where this sort of puts them in. And this is becoming kind of their last hurrah, right? Like
Mhm.
they're like, we're gonna retire soon.
Maybe we're too
but
old.
we still have some pride over this, and they're introspecting as a result.
Yeah, after this, the gang's gonna go down to the local airplane DMV, whatever you would call that,
And
the
get their
the
licenses
AMV
revoked.
in lodge a complaint, get the licenses taken away, and it's real sad actually because Wings doesn't want to admit his age, and
Right.
everyone's very upset. But yeah, well, we get really long shots on Wings' eyes and Noctowl's closed eyes as they reminisce, and then suddenly, shing! Noctowl wakes up. Whoa! And he's old. He's still old, but he wakes up, and that
Yeah.
boss music comes on.
Well, and the line that Wings says around here, I do want to call out a couple more of his lines. He goes, "I can't blame you for getting old." That was beautiful. That was a beautiful line. We'll always have memories. Okay, very
Aww.
yeah, and then
how
take it away.
sweet.
Noctowl's flying. He's doing
Noctowl ties a rope around the plane, and it's really cool. And our Noctowl, Ash's Noctowl, comes out. Two are
shit.
better
So
than
it's
one.
gonna help. And it
Lightning's
really,
still striking all around him, so that's cool.
I don't forget the fact, but I'm just not as aware of the fact that Noctowl is a shiny week to week until like moments like this. I'm like, oh yeah, Ash's Noctowl looks so different.
Yeah, it's not. It's one of the more subtle shinies.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I'm saying it's
That
subtle,
isn't
so
just
that
exactly
like
the
in your
same.
day to day when you don't see
Yeah.
it next to another Noctowl, you're not immediately thinking of the shininess of it all the time.
Yeah.
But when you see it like this, you're like, oh yeah, that's neat. Yeah, they look different. That's cool.
If it were like Totodile and he's like a mint green, they would be more obvious. But
What color? Oh,
Totodile shiny is like a
is
mint green. Yeah.
I'm gonna look it up.
or it's like a light turquoise.
Yeah, it's like turquoise, I would say. Yeah.
He's a cute little guy though. But yeah, so they hurl a rope around this plane, and Brock has a very insightful line. Careful, that lightning is dangerous.
I love it. Lightning is dangerous.
Team Rocket, they're like, nah, you sissies, we get zapped all the time.
Great line. Amazing line.
Yeah.
He's like, you just gotta get better at it. I get Thunderbolt every day. And Pikachu during that exchange has this like blank face. He's like, what are you talking about me? So funny.
Well, this gives Brock an idea. Electricity draws electricity. So Pikachu gets up on top of the plane and bolts up into the sky to draw all of the lightning up there. And it creates this giant explosion, which was cool. And I don't know if the science on this works out at all, but I don't really care.
I don't either. There's a bunch of things in this episode, I guess, that, you know what, Nolan, Nolan the producer, when you listen to this, you let us know, because this is the kind of thing you would usually text us after the fact and give us some
that's
insights.
wrong.
Yeah, would Pikachu thunderbolting into the sky attract the lightning into a ball, which then explodes away from them? Is that a thing? I don't
If so,
think it is,
hell
but
yeah.
there's sort of something there. Like, there's electromagnetism, right? Where, like, electricity has a magnetic field. So maybe that's kind of what they're getting at, but I don't know.
Maybe. I think it's just cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Because it was cool.
Well,
So.
I mean, Pikachu's got to save the day. There wouldn't be a
course.
Pokemon
Yeah.
episode. And the day is saved-ish. The plane is flying safe, we think. Almost there. Ash is like, wow, that's weird. I don't see any lights. It's still, the visibility's low. Team Rocket, okay, they're starting to plot. They're like, okay, if things are peaceful again, we can go back to our old ways. We can get Pikachu. And then we see Wings sees a blinking light in the distance. That is the Olivine Lighthouse. That's great. However, they're off course, and they're heading straight for a cliff.
Oh God! So we pull up. We barely avoid the cliffs. This part was whatever, but except Team Rocket, they got thrown around, and now they're on top of the part of the floor that got patched up. And Wobbuffet pops back out again. They fall right through the floor. That's they're blasting off again, except they don't blast off again. They just fall to their deaths.
Through the floor. And they do it in a way where, like, nobody really noticed that it happened. They're just gone.
Turn around. They're like, where'd Team Rocket go? Brock's like, I guess it was their stop. So we're approaching Olivine. They see Janina and Jasmine and Sparkle, the Ampharos, which I gotta say, if that was the amount of light that Sparkle was giving off on the lighthouse, no wonder they built a better lighthouse. Because honestly, that was very little. They barely saw it.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of sad.
I was also wondering how often this thing is used, but okay.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention it when we had the Ampharos episode, but there was just so much going on that I forgot. It's interesting that in the anime, this Ampharos is named Sparkle, but in the games, Jasmine refers to it as Amphi. That's the Amphross's
Ooh.
name in the game.
Hmm.
So, a little fun
Missed
fact for you there.
opportunity, parallel universe. We'll never know.
Yeah. Ash just can't wait for his battle tomorrow. Wings is like, oh, it's just like old times. And then we finally hear Noctowl, and he's like, Noctowl, because he's really old. Very old Noctowl cry, which I thought was a fun little touch. But that's the episode.
For a literary hour, the trope we'll be looking at on tvtropes.com is called Retired Badass. So this is the trope of the older character who they seem just to be an older person, right? But then as characters get to know them, there's all of this cool stuff under the surface, right? They actually have a pretty badass history, maybe as a warrior, maybe as a soldier, maybe as someone who saved people, maybe as a pilot, like in this like this character Wings. So I'm gonna pull up this book, Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury. Sounds like a bit of a slice of life novel. I haven't read this one. It's not one of Bradbury usually writes sci-fi stories, right? And
Of
this
course.
is more of a traditional fiction, semi-autobiographical, based on his own growing up in Illinois. And it's one of those like small Midwestern America books. Actually, there's a version of this kind of W.O. Mitchell. What the hell is his book called? Who Has Seen the Wind? Is that the book? Is that the name of the book? Have you read this one, Kellan? No, yet.
I have not. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, Who Has Seen the Wind by W.O. Mitchell. That is one that takes place in the Canadian prairies. That's one of my personal favorites of this kind of novel, a coming of age novel. But anyways, Dandelion Wine's that sort of coming of age, young boys growing up novel. And in their town, there is Colonel Freelay, who is a Civil War soldier, next Civil War story. So all the boys in this town like to come together and hear stories from this who's just, an old retired man now about the Civil War exploits. So, yeah, that's my trope example.
Old guy. We all love old guys. That's my trope.
Retired
Old guy.
badass.
Yeah. All right.
Old guy.
Let's rank.
Aging. The trope is aging. Benjamin Button
sad.
subverts this.
All right, let's rate. We're going to go to the 4-port plastic ping pong picture of objective ratings. We're going to pull 2 arbitrary categories written on ping pong balls and rate the episodes based on said categories. First category for this one will be the sweet sentences.
Ooh. So I love the themes in this episode. They are just about getting older, but they're about reflecting on what that means. I called out, I like the line, I can't blame you for getting old. We'll always have memories. There are some funny lines in here. Don't be a wimp. We get zapped all the time from Team Rocket. Pretty good one.
I really like when Ash goes, I'll take care of this. That was honestly, I mean, it was kind of badass. I can't lie. He puts his hat around.
Flips the hat. A kindler, gentler Team Rocket, did it for me.
Yeah.
I can't explain why we're despicable. Thousands of therapists have tried and failed. That's a great
That's a good one.
Got nerve to call this a rescue plane.
What about near the start?
Never trust
does
internet
Wings
weather
have?
forecast.
So there's some things. There's nothing like nothing that makes me think yeah.
There's no big like fuck yeah. There's no like 10 material in here. But there are some nice ones. Like I said, I do like the ones that kind of push the theme, and then there's a couple funny ones from Team Rocket. Is this an incredible sweet sentence episode? No. And to be honest, I probably will remember it in the future, but it was solid. So I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna go a flat 6.
Flat 6. I'm gonna go 4.8. So that's gonna be a 5.4. I give a lot of weight. When it comes to sweet sentences, I give a lot of weight to like the philosophical ones. Like in the first movie with Meowth and the Moon and Mewtwo being like, I see the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. Stuff like that.
Moral philosophy.
Yeah. Second category will be the originality.
Okay, interesting.
Pretty original episode, I would say.
It is. I don't think we've encountered the retired badass trope yet, actually.
I want to say, actually, we may have. Well, there was the surfing guy. Was he retired from the Pikahuna?
Well, so that one is a little bit, in the Pikahuna. You know what? That's the closest. That one, to me, is a little bit different because he's not retired so much as he's just trying again. He hasn't done something for so long. That one is similar-ish, though. Yeah, they're a little bit adjacent. This one felt more like that type of episode than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It felt a little bit like the Pudgy Pidgey Island one too, maybe just because it's like a bird trying to do its all, but in a very different stage of its life. I think this still makes it kind of original.
Yeah. I don't know if we've seen an old Pokemon, like one that's physically looks old.
Yeah, true. That was kind of new.
We may have, but I can't remember. It wasn't memorable, but I guess.
However, the conflict of the episode is largely there's a storm.
That's true.
Which is cliched as fuck for
Mhm.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it is.
really, that is repetitive as hell. But this is
And we haven't had
originality, right?
Yeah. We haven't had a hanger plane, have we?
No, not this kind of old school prop plane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna go. There's some good arguments pro, some against. So I'm gonna keep with my 6 actually. Just flat 6 again. Yeah, we get the 6s for Graham.
Yeah, I'm going 6.3, so it's gonna be 6.15 overall. 5.775 for throwing in the Noctowl.
Decent score. It's about what it deserved, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe personally I go a little bit higher. Like I did like this episode quite a bit.
Yeah, it was fun.
It is a filler episode.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the next episode that is not a filler episode, we have a question not specific to an episode from Cy Cut Ya Duck, aka Andy, who also says, "I'm a listener from the UK, by the way, listening since day one of the pod." Which, how did anyone find this so early that you've been listening since day one? That's my question to you.
Yeah.
But regardless, fucking cool. Andy asks, Kellan loves the simulation games at the moment. I do. Still playing Supermarket Simulator. What simulation games could exist in the Pokemon universe? I want one where you simulate being the old guy up front of the daycare who just stands there and then an egg shows up sometimes.
You're a breeder and you do fuck all.
And you just stand there
sometimes it works.
and wait. Yeah.
Yeah, you've gone past The Sims with gameplay, and now you want ones that are just like boring on purpose. That's
you just stand there, and then when you hear there's an egg in the daycare, you turn to the right to let the trainer know, hey, there's an egg.
Yeah, this is a good question. What kind of things you would want to manage at scale? What sort of like enterprises have we seen in Pokemon?
Team Rocket.
Team Rocket Simulator.
Giovanni Simulator.
That actually goes hard. You're like managing the crooked books of Team Rocket. So you deploy basically squads out, right? And then they come and report back. So you send them on like jobs and then they come and report back. And then you can like invest in new equipment and stuff like that as they go out. So it's basically like a Pokemon Crime Syndicate simulator. That's a bomb answer. I love that.
Good.
That sounds
pretty
fun
good.
as hell.
Can't lie. That's pretty good. I think that's
pretty good.
Good. I think our two options are equally good.
The Do Nothing Simulator and the Team Rocket Simulator, yeah.
Correct. All right, let's jump into episode 226, Nerves of Steelix, which, did you know that episode the title is a pun on the phrase Nerves of Steel?
Thanks, Bulbapedia.
Did you know that? I didn't know it until I read it
night.
on Bulbapedia.
This one went pretty hard for me.
This is also a very good episode.
Great episode. It's a fucking gym battle. It's a nice one.
And it ain't filler.
And it is not filler.
So it's the next day. After a stay at the Pokemon Center, Janina's here to pick up the gang, take them to the gym. But Ash, he's too excited. He's been out running with his Pokemon all morning. He's ready to go.
Running by the coast. We're ready.
We're ready. We're ready. We're ready.
Running, looking good. Good luck. Ash is so ready. Team Rocket is already in the episode. They're spying, watching him run. And then what's this? There's a
Their
giant
new beach toy
wobbuffet statue.
Oh, the value pack king size, as Brock says.
It's a value pack king size of wobbuffet.
They read the plaque. He who puts his Pokemon here will win his battles without fear. Must be a good luck statue. My favorite thing was that this is a massive ass statue, and they didn't see it until they started walking into the shadow. Like, this thing is 20 feet tall, and they didn't see it.
Right.
Until its shadow was casting on them.
Allegedly, it kind of like Team Rocket deployed it at some point recently, so like how they didn't notice movement.
Yeah.
And yet they're so quick to trust it. Like, okay, yeah. I mean, it
Ash
checks out that Ash wants good luck for battling no matter what.
Ash thinks, oh, this isn't suspicious at all, and puts Pikachu down on the plate, who immediately gets grabbed and launched into the mouth. Attention all, prepare for trouble.
Eats it immediately.
Now hear this and make it double. Blah, blah, blah. Team Rocket blasts off to be like, moonwalking at you, so prepare to fight. Okay, cool. That was moonwalking, but I don't know what that has to do with the giant Wobbuffet, but sure. So they take
Alright.
off in this wobbuffet, who is actually a tank, and we hear is the wobbuffet, the Wobba Warrior.
Wobbu Warrior.
Pretty cool.
Sunday, 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 the Wobbu Warrior takes on the RK9 champ at the Sunday Showdown.
You only see it Sunday on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Bayleaf comes out to Razorleaf, does nothing. We get a bunch of backstory. The Wobba Warrior was Jesse's invention, inspired by some dreams in childhood. All the kids had the balloon pencil case that was made of such a not good material that not even the weight of a Snorlax could crush it. But she only had one pencil. No one bought her the balloon pencil case.
Aw, so sad.
So sad.
Young Jesse.
So this thing's made out of, like, I think they said titanium, and so it is virtually indestructible. As we see Brock and Janina's
it can
Onyx.
withstand the weight of a Snorlax. Apparently.
Well, the
That's
pencil
crazy.
case could have.
The pencil
Yeah.
case, sorry, yeah. I'm still hung up on the pencil case. Right. So that makes the Wobbu Warrior virtually unstoppable as well, since it was inspired by the pencil case.
So Brock and Janina's Onyx both come out to tackle. This made me remember, oh right, Janina has an Onyx. That seems like a very strange choice for this very young girl. The gigantic rock snake. But
Yeah.
okay. Tackle does nothing. They get launched back. The Wobba Warrior just starts climbing the cliff, which this is a very, very impressive machine.
Oh yeah, it's got skills. Good skills you wouldn't expect.
Very
But
sophisticated
what's
machine. That's
this?
what I was looking
He
for.
gets hit out of nowhere by Steelix, baby, off the top
Whoa.
rope.
Knocks it to the ground, and Jasmine leaps in from the cliff on top of it.
Yeah, she
Which
jumps
was
right
sick.
down the cliff.
That was fucking awesome.
Ash like Dex is it was weirdly awesome. I was
It
like, well,
was
that's
so
so over the
good.
top. I can see why Jasmine's a fan favorite just from stuff like that. They've made
Mhm.
her just like, I don't know why she has that ability and why she's using it here, but okay, she's apparently an acrobat. Ash dexes the Steelix during this, where we learn its body is harder than diamonds. Okay, is it steel or is it diamond? What the hell's going on?
And then Brock dexes Jasmine. Jasmine, the Olivine gym leader. She's a natural beauty, but she prefers simple attire, choosing hair barrettes as her only accessory.
I like how he was, I mean, he's still Brock, but he's somehow like impersonating the Dex. I liked that. It worked.
It's fun. It's charming.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is our Pokemon of the episode. It is Steelix, the evolved form
Right.
of Onyx.
Now, we may have talked about Steelix a little bit before. Visually, I mean, kind of terrifying looking. Kind of
Absolutely.
cool, honestly. Because I mean, Onyx is already a bit of a scary notion, but they've taken away his more innocent looking features and now given him like fucking terror helmet, you know?
Yeah, giant fangs. I mean,
Yeah.
it is massive. It's noted as 30 feet long. So
Oof, duh.
that's pretty big. For comparison,
Now,
Onyx is 28, actually. So it
And
only gains
Onyx-
2 feet. Not even.
Onyx is notoriously a piece of crap in
Terrible.
the games.
Yep.
Did Steelix remedy that?
Onyx's only good stat is defense. It's got some speed, but it's nothing really special. Otherwise, yeah, Onyx is a piece of garbage. Steelix does remedy that. Its defense goes way higher. It's one of the most defensive Pokemon in the game. List of Pokemon by base stats. In Gen 2, Steelix had the second highest base defense, just behind Shuckle. So Shuckle had the highest. As of now, Steelix has, not counting Megas and stuff, Steelix is the third most defensive Pokemon in terms of physical defense. Tied for third.
Okay.
Just behind Shuckle again. Shuckle is still at the top, not counting Megas. And Stakataka are the only things that
Yeah.
are more defensive. Mega Steelix is actually the most physically defensive Pokemon in the game, aside from Eternamax Eternatus, who doesn't count. But no, Steelix is far more defensive, and it can
Okay.
actually hit decently. Like, it can actually deal damage.
Okay, so summarize this a bit for me.
Good.
You're going in a direction. It's pretty good.
It's a good Pokemon, yeah.
Good Pokemon. The Steel type, especially in Gen 2, was
Super
decent.
defensive.
Yeah, pretty good at the time, right?
I mean, it's still the most defensive. It's the best defensive typing in the game,
Okay.
Steel, by
Okay.
far. Very few Pokemon suffer from an additional Steel type.
Right.
Slap Steel onto something, and it's usually better.
Okay.
Just pure defensively. The only thing that Steelix is worse at is that it gets way slower, but with its gigantic defense, it's worth it.
That's workable.
It's fine. Yeah.
Cool.
But no, Steelix definitely remedies the problems with Onyx. Only thing is, you need to trade it with a metal coat, and so trade evolutions are a real pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
it was a nice upgrade in the sense that they took a Pokemon that wasn't good and then remade it. Like they made it actually usable. So
made it better, made it good. Yeah,
that's good.
We like that. We like when that happens.
We sure do. Okay,
hopefully we get more of that in Legend ZA. Let's go.
Yeah, Steelix is fighting the Wobble Warrior, right? So it goes for a crunch attack. And at first they're like, it didn't do any damage.
Nothing.
But then it did that cartoon like delayed thing where suddenly like cracks appear all over it.
And so Bayleaf blindly vine whips into the mouth and grabs Pikachu.
Oh, can it ever aim? It just knows where Pikachu is.
That was good, yeah. Steelix goes for the Iron Tail for the first of like 20 times this episode. Sends the Wobble Warrior flying, exploding. Team Rocket go blasting off again.
Last off, Ash thanks Jasmine for participation in this battle. And Brock Simps, of course. What a brave angel. I stand
before
in
her.
front of you astonished. And Misty goes, I'm astonished that you haven't come up with a new routine.
Got him.
She could have been like, I'm astonished you haven't gotten arrested.
Neither Ash nor Jasmine plan to hold back in this fight, and we get some fire eyes from Ash, and so we go into the gym 2-on-2. This fight will be Brock's like, I bet she'll use Steelix.
It's a good guess, Brock.
Great guess. So fire would be good. Cyndaquil, the clear choice. But what else will she use? So
what else will Pikachu use? Yeah. I mean, what else? Okay, sorry. I got so confused there. Yeah, what other Pokemon are going to come up? Right, sorry. Go ahead.
Or the Mineral Badge. Let the fight begin. She goes Magnemite first.
Minerals, Murray!
Minerals! They're mineral badge. They're not badges, they're minerals.
Yeah.
Mineral badges. Magnemite comes out first. And so Pikachu, of course, is also going to come out first.
Yeah, Pikachu versus Magnemite. In the game, Kellan, I should remember this, but obviously I doubt. Is this what Jasmine has? A Magnemite and a Steelix?
Steelix and 2 Magnemite, yeah.
2 Magnemite. Okay, so not bad. Yeah, cool.
Yep, that works. Yeah, Pikachu comes out. I mean, in terms of what Ash has, not the worst. Bayleaf and Bulbasaur would resist electric, but they would also hit resisted moves, so he's really kind of stuck against an electric steel type here.
Yeah, so not a terrible choice. Also, it is a Magnemite, so kind of go with whatever.
Yeah.
It is a Magnemite.
Well, Pikachu Thunderbolts. Magnemite dodges quickly, goes for Thunder Wave, but Pikachu dodges, and so Pikachu does a bunch of Thunderbolts.
Thunder Wave because it's blue.
Magnemite dodges all the Thunderbolts. Brock's just amazed by this, and he goes for the Thunder Waves, but Pikachu dodges all those.
It's the fastest Magnemite I've ever seen.
It's just nothing but dodges for like 2 minutes straight.
Oh, this goes for a while. Repeated Thunder Waves dodging, and then we get the Bullseye Thunderbolt. Make it actually count, too. Pikachu, and it also dodges.
Yep.
And then and then Brock and Misty are like, both are just dodging.
This is so boring. So uninteresting.
Did I just purchase a caravan because all I see is dodge?
This is why evasion strats get banned, because it's just boring to watch.
They get banned, really?
At least in non-official competitive. I'm not sure about actual VGC, but like Smoggin competitive, yeah, you can't use like double team and stuff because it's just cheap and boring.
Just weighs down the competition.
Yeah. So Magnemite, they realize, okay, maybe if Pikachu takes a hit, then it'll like knock the Magnemite off guard or some shit. I don't know. But Magnemite goes for a Thunder Wave, and Pikachu just takes the hit. And it looks like he's getting damaged, even though Thunder Wave only paralyzes, so that's not really how that should work. But he goes for a Thunderbolt in retaliation to the Kanto gym theme, which is just ripping ass right here. Knocks Magnemite down, but not quite out. Jasmine tells it to keep Thunder Waving, which also you shouldn't have to do if one Thunder Wave lands, because you can't paralyze something twice, but okay. It's not how that works.
Yeah, but in this magical world, they've just decided it is an attack, and they're not going to explain paralyzing. So, okay, whatever.
Pikachu goes for a quick attack. Great idea. Super weak normal move against a resistant steel type. That'll do like 3 damage. He zips in. Magnemite can't keep track of him. He's like, go! And he hits Magnemite, knocks it into a wall. It is out. Magnemite goes down. Pikachu's also very pooped.
Pikachu wins so tired. So, of course, we do know what Jasmine's next Pokemon is. So it's going to be Steelix versus Pikachu. What's
Just as
Pikachu going
Brock
to do
thought.
since he's a sleepy boy? Yeah, Brock. What a Sherlock Holmes.
Genius. Pikachu, they're like, I don't know if Pikachu can handle this. And he goes for a Thunderbolt, and it hits, and it seems to maybe do damage, which, again, Steelix is part ground, so that shouldn't work. But it looks like Jasmine is using Ash's trick. It's like, we're going to use your own thing against you.
By getting hit and attacking back.
Apparently. Goes for the Iron Tail to some more epic battle music, but Pikachu dodges. Quick attack, but he bounces right off because Steelix is way too hard. Iron Tail again hits Pikachu really hard. Pikachu goes down. It is 1-1. And
so
Misty goes,
quick.
Oh, Pikachu lost. And then Brock goes, yeah, Steelix is strong.
Great
with
dialogue.
With the pause. Which was
Steelix
great.
is strong. Well, we know what is coming next, sort of, in the sense that they set it up. Is Ash going to
Bulbasaur.
listen to intelligence? No, it is Cyndaquil versus Steelix. Brock reminds us that Fire has an advantage here, and Ash reminds Cyndaquil that he's got a heart of fire. Ooh, beautiful. So
However,
Cyndaquil versus Steelix.
Is part ground, so it is a risky matchup because ground is good against fire. So round 3.
Oh, so it would have been neutral damage.
No, the fire is super effective against steel, but the ground is super effective against fire. So it's a good matchup.
So his
both
attacks,
ways,
okay,
kind of.
gotcha.
Yeah. So round 3 begin. War, battle music up, flamethrower from Cyndaquil against a sandstorm from Steelix, who does this really
is a
spinny
crazy
thing.
use of sandstorm.
Wild.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He like spins upright. Like he gets like fully erect in the air and starts spinning. And yes, I said fully erect. Get over it. Is spinning causes like a sandstorm tornado, but this is also just the move sandstorm, Darude sandstorm.
Apparently, yeah.
Which sandstorm is just like it causes damage over time, right?
Yeah,
in the game.
it's a weather effect, yeah. So
okay, but here
then,
it's like a super
boosts,
block spinning thing.
Yeah, and it boosts some defense of a type. I can't remember exactly what. And some abilities later, you get more evasion in Sandstorm, which makes it a real fucking annoying.
Well, throw all that knowledge away, because in the show, not only does it block Flamethrower, but it somehow transitions into Dig, because when the storm has gone away and Flamethrower has gone away, Steelix is underground.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Could you imagine having to maintain the structure of a gym where your giant rock monster is constantly burrowing underneath it? That sounds like a nightmare.
The amount of dirt they have to buy is immense.
Yeah.
That's where most of the budget goes to.
That. They're just like when Pokemon use Dig, like it's just like the ground is like water and it'll just like fill itself back up.
Well, Ash, he's just looking around aimlessly. Where is it? Where could it be? Where's it gonna come up?
Misty with the sweet detective. It's hiding in a hole.
It's probably gonna come up right under Cyndaquil, and it does.
Yeah.
Goes for the Iron Tail, but Cyndaquil dodges. Goes for a Flamethrower, and then Sandstorm again. Doesn't let Flamethrower through. I'm pretty sure it's just the exact same footage.
There's quite a bit of this in this match, of this like, uses this, uses that, uses that thing.
Yeah.
Okay, uses that thing, uses it again. So, yeah.
And he goes back underground. And where's he going to come from this time? Well, behind Cyndaquil. And so he goes for an Iron Tail. And it's dodged. And then Iron Tail again.
One more time.
But it looks like Cyndaquil isn't going to be able to dodge this one. He's getting back into the wall. But Ash is like, aim the Flamethrower at the wall. And Cyndaquil just like bounces back from that. Like the Flamethrower bounces him away. And he dodges it again.
Yeah, I think the narrative was that he couldn't dodge because he was already in motion. He was already in the air.
Yeah.
So that's why he used the Flamethrower at the wall as like just another degree of freedom, right? Like another way to move, basically. So because he was already in the air, and that worked, I guess. Propelled backwards and dodged.
And so Steelix goes underground again.
and
Ash gets an idea
again with
he comes
Iron
right
Tail
up.
again.
Ash's detective line. It's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Cyndaquil saw that. It's a 30-foot giant steel snake monster. Cyndaquil smoke screens into the Iron Tail as the horns come on, the musical battle horns, which I love. He runs into the smoke screen. Steelix goes to use Sandstorm to blow the smoke away, but Cyndaquil's gone. And he pops up behind Steelix in his hole. He's real cute. Cyndaquil just pops up, his head pops up.
Yeah, and pulls that flamethrower, and it hits. Great job, Cyndaquil.
He goes back
And
down.
Ash yells, "Get in the hole again! Back in the
Jasmine won't fall
trenches!"
for that one again. She Iron Tails the ground itself. And so the ground
Yeah,
underneath
get out
is,
of the
is
hole.
crumbling. Cyndaquil has to get out of there. Steelix Iron Tails it. Cyndaquil flamethrowers at the ground, but oh no, he gets hit. Wasn't quick enough. He's hurt. His flame is going out, but it's not done. Cyndaquil's not giving up yet. The flame fires back up after a little pep talk. So Steelix goes in for the crunch, which with how big this thing is, that's just
that'd
like
be a devastating crunch.
that's like some vor shit.
Oh,
Just eat Cyndaquil.
this is Attack on Titan stuff. You're just
Yeah.
getting devoured. Yeah.
In one bite. Well, Steelix, goes for the crunch. Cyndaquil smoke screens again to dodge. And I noted the music here is really good. I couldn't pinpoint what it was, but it was fucking great. He has no choice but to use flamethrower versus another sandstorm.
Don't give up. Don't give up, Cyndaquil. Put your heart into it. And the storm is like moving kind of as this going.
He's
and
trying to
what's
like
this?
fight it, yeah.
What's this? It turns red. Apparently, Cyndaquil, via Ash's pep talk, has now flamethrowed this storm so much that it is turning red because fire is red and the storm is hot. More flamethrower. Oh my god, it's turning into a whirling fire attack. This is crazy, Kellan. Can you believe it?
And this whole time, Cyndaquil's just going
Yeah, just groaning and
for like
moaning.
30 seconds, just screeching. But yeah, it basically turns this into a fire spin. Is kind of what they were going for, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of what they were going for. I think so.
Yeah, it's a whirlwind fire, and Steelix, when it comes out of it, they're like, it didn't work. Why didn't it do anything? Except it did do something because Steelix then falls over dead.
It worked. Ash wins. This is crazy. The music's kicking in. Jasmine's like, "Wow, you had great ideas, Ash."
He spins
broken
Cyndaquil
clock,
around like a baby. That was cute. I loved that.
And he gets the badge.
Confers
Rocks.
the mineral badge.
Minerals, Marie.
The
Badge.
minerals. He confers the they're minerals Marie badge onto Ash.
Yeah.
And so at sunset, where are we off to next? Well, Ash has no idea. So Brock consults the guide. It looks like the next gym is in Mahogany Town. Janina tells them, hey, cut through Ecruteak City. They're like, wow, we've already been there. That's cool. So we're going to head back to Ecruteak. Janina says, come back someday so I can battle you. I would imagine we probably don't do that.
I would think not.
Yeah. So Brock will have to battle his broken heart, saying goodbye to Jasmine, as we all will, because we all love Jasmine. And they head to Mahogany Town. That's the episode.
Okay, so the trope I'm looking at for this episode, tvtropes.com for literary hour, is called extraordinary, which is like this. Okay, so we all know about elemental powers, right? Fire, water, etc. But what about the power over metals? Okay, so this is like where characters have a power that like is attributed with metal, and in this case steel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Colossus from X-Men would be a cool pop culture example. However, for a book, I'm gonna bring up Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series. I feel like maybe a listener who's read this series. It's pretty popular. It's all about this magic called allomancy in that, where
Alimony? They're divorced?
Yeah, they have to make payments every day. It's a superpower to keep children alive after separation.
It's a weird book to base an entire series off of, but okay.
Allomancy, it involves they can use metal to basically get magic powers, and the magic powers are over different things, over different metals, and they're all sort of like based around the abilities to pull things in and to push them. But it lets people like basically fly by alternating between pushing and pulling. And it's a whole much more complicated than that. I don't remember all the ins and outs. There's one of them that gives them the ability of like equivalent exchange. So they can like turn some materials into something else, like basically store it and then pull it out later. Yeah. Bunch of weird shit, but it's all about metal powers. So that is my TV trope. Go read Mistborn.
Very cool.
That.
Very
I personally don't think they're amazing books. I don't really like Sanderson's writing style. I know that's controversial. He's pretty popular in the fantasy space.
How could you?
But he has cool ideas. Like his world building and his ideas are really strong. Yeah, just his writing is.
Well, that makes you lesser than some other people out there
I
in
guess
their
so.
eyes.
To
So
me, his writing it feels like a bubblegum sandwich. You're like bubblegum's like okay, this like kind of cheap thing I liked as a kid, and I guess you could stick it between bread, and I guess that would be a sandwich. Uh,
but why would you do that?
but I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would be bad. All right, let's rate this episode, starting with the subversion immersion. How immersed were we in those subversions? Were there
okay, so
any?
this is about subversions, right? Whether they're
Yeah.
trope subversions or Pokemon subversions or social subversions.
There you
Anything
go.
like that. I mean, Pokemon's gotten pretty good at this, but actually, powerful female gym leaders, I think, still has a call out. They're the minority,
Sure.
so it's a social subversion.
Does Steelix subvert how shitty Onyx is?
There you go.
Does that count?
Sure. What about that subversion of disbelief in that moment where the Wabu warrior has been crunched and it didn't work, but then
There you go.
it did.
That's
And that is actually a parallel to Steelix falling over at the end.
There you
Subvert
go.
a moment in time.
subverts your expectations. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else.
I mean, it's a battle
It's kind of
episode,
weak.
so
You know what?
unfortunately,
You know what?
it's not
I
like
will
there's
give
a
it.
ton of plot.
I'll give it a couple points for the fact that Team Rocket gets blasted off again really early in the episode and doesn't come back
Ooh, good one, yeah.
because they usually do that. If Team Rocket BOAs, as I've been noting it as,
Blast offs
very
again.
early, then typically they come back later in the episode. But they did not have we didn't see a whiff of them past the 5-minute mark.
Yeah, that's about it. I think for me, my strongest thing of a subversion, just because we talked about this category in the past, also be about like kind of almost like a social justice one in a way. So I will say I will use Jasmine being the strong female gym leader as my main piece there,
Also,
because there isn't really much else.
Jasmine, aside from that, she's a bit of a subversion in herself because she always seems like a very calm, sophisticated, chill, even keel person, and then she leaps off of a fucking cliff, and it's really badass.
That's actually true, right? She's a mood subversion because in
Yeah.
battles she's a quite severe character, right?
Yeah,
When things are serious, she's kind of draconian. She's very serious, almost kind of ruthless looking. But then she snaps right back out of it, right? Compliments Ash, great decisions. But in the heat of the battle, merciless.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a cool one. Yeah, not bad. That upsets
Okay,
me a bit.
talking it over, we pumped that up a bit. I'm gonna go flat 7.
Yeah, not bad. 6.5.
So that's 6.75. Final category of the day: Ash Moron moments.
Okay, I mean he wins. But he has a big moron moment at the beginning of the episode when he puts Pikachu on
Yeah,
the
that's
pedestal. That is a 5-pointer alone, I think. Gets that poor Pikachu gobbled up.
He doesn't
the
swap a
Wabu
Pokemon
warrior.
out to fight Steel types. He only has Cyndaquil. That's good against them. I'll give a little bit for that. He should have swapped. I don't know, something else
Does he
in.
have another Pokemon?
Heracross, fighting type. Why didn't he go get Heracross?
Oh, Heracross. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, why don't we get to see Heracross anymore?
It's so
sad.
disappointing. Yeah, but no, he's able to think on his feet, and so that's
Yeah, he's okay during the battle. For the most part. Yeah, I think so.
yeah. But the big one, the putting putting Pikachu on the
Yeah, that
pedestal
was
is
huge.
massive.
That was massive. You know what? You pointed out some kind of stupid dialogue from him where he's like, "Where's Steelix?
Oh yeah, he's
It's
just like
there."
looking around aimlessly.
Where could Steelix be?
Yeah.
Object permanence. Do I possess it?
It's
That was
right
kinda
in front
dumb.
of you. So grading it on just the moron moments, not taking away anything from any
Yeah.
smart moments, just the moron stuff. The pedestal thing is so stupid.
It's so
7.3.
stupid. I'm gonna go an 8. I'm gonna go a
Ooh.
full blown 8. Yeah, because that was like, what the fuck, Ash?
Yeah.
You're better than this.
So 7.65 overall. 7.2 for Nerves of Steelix.
Pretty good.
Pretty
That's a
good.
strong score. Yeah.
Good episodes this week.
Good episodes.
And that's
Hell
it for this
yeah.
week. Do you want to know
Well,
what we're
let's
doing
see
next
if we
week?
can keep the high scores alive for Master Quest. What is happening next week, Kellan?
It's 2 more episodes because we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off with episode 227, Bulbasaur, the Ambassador, or in Japanese,
Whoa.
Farewell Fushigadane! Exclamation. Adventure at Dr. Okido's! Double exclamation.
Farewell, Fushigadane. I don't know if I can take that. Oh my god.
Followed by episode 228, Espeon Not Included, or in Japanese, Ify and Sakura! Exclamation. Enju City once again! Double exclamation.
Hell yeah. That's fun.
Mhm.
Okay,
So
I mean,
we got some
wow,
more
looks
plot
like
stuff.
Looks like I'm gonna feel things, and maybe there'll be some characters of the week that get a second round, potentially. That's cool.
Do you want to know something nice, something that'll make you feel good, I think?
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
In terms of the next badge, it's not going to be like 4 months again. It's going to be like, it's only going to be like 6 or 7 weeks.
Oh, so
So it's actually not that bad.
they're moving a little bit now. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and there's some important stuff that happens in between those weeks. So it's going to be an interesting
Exciting.
ride to Mahogany.
Very exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. This is going to be fun. The Master Quest episodes are going good. We have that cool butt rock theme song to make us vibe.
Yeah, Master
along
Quest has
into
been
it all.
hitting hard.
Yeah, Master Quest is cool. Not bad, not bad.
The Pokemon one and the Ocarina of Time one.
Right. All of the Master Quests come together. Kellan, is that why you played that?
No, I just
Okay.
I wanted to play
I
Ocarina
didn't
of
put
Time.
that together till now. Were you just ever like, what other Master Quest should I go on?
No, I wanted to play Ocarina of Time again, and so I booted it up on the 3DS, and then I saw Master Quest there, and I was like, oh, I've never played Master Quest. So I played Master Quest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Well, thanks you, everyone. You also did a good job listening to us like you do every week. If you're listening on YouTube, and for those who aren't, the YouTube channels, youtube.com/HydraLeech. You can leave comments down below. We love hearing your thoughts on the episode every week. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel, all of that nonsense. If you're on Spotify, interact with the episodes on there. We're also on pretty much any audio platform. We think if there's another one you want, email us. We can check it out. You can email us at 2killadelibird@gmail.com. We're also on Blue Sky. 2killadelibird is the handle. If you want to ask questions about the next episode, there's a Google form linked in the descriptions, in the episode description. Submit your questions, and we'll likely read them on air the next week. Intro and outro music is 18th Synthwave by Alexi Action. Kellan runs a TikTok. HydraLeeches is the channel. Follow that for some fun Pokemon-related shorts. Twitch is on twitch.tv/HydraLeech. Kellan, I know you've been doing 100%. Well, there was Coliseum, and then that went into Sonic Adventure DX. Is that the game you're doing lately?
Yeah,
still?
we're doing both. Doing both.
Okay, so it's a GameCube month. We love GameCube. We're both GameCube people.
GameCube's
So
the best.
check that out. Yeah, great
No
system.
controller beats the GameCube controller. I will die on that hill.
It just forms to your hand.
It's beautiful.
Like butter for your hand. And we have a Patreon. Links below. It's just a tip jar if you want to give back to the channel. That's about it. And yeah, anything else, Kellan?
What did we learn this week, Graham?
That getting old is hard, and steel is
well,
hard, and we learned
I've
about
known
hard
that.
things.
I've known that for a long time, being so old as I am.
No, but like really old, getting
But really old.
really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Is that what we learned?
I guess so. We also
And
learned,
that Noctowls are sleepy.
Noctowl. Well, I mean, they are owls, and it was daytime. So
I think it's
was
all
fair.
the blood they need to keep those giant penises.
Too much blood. Too much blood.
Yeah.
They don't have enough pumping. They gotta.
Yeah, that'll make you sleepy.
It'll make you sleepy. I also learned
Must be
that.
why I'm sleepy.
Oh my God! Hey, that's where it ends, baby.